What's up, everyone? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla stock and the overall markets. I want to break down some very important tweets that came out from Elon Musk himself about the Optimus robot. He said some very, very important things that are very, very bullish for Tesla's long term, not to mention new developments that are going on right over here for the company. But before I quickly tell all this information, before I get into any more details and talk about Elon Musk's tweets and what's happening with the markets, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, and the offerings in just 9 days. Anyways, for Tesla, we saw this nice little counter trend move all the way up to about this 250 resistance. Now Tesla's trying to hold its 30 minutes 200 EMA at 248. If that fails us, I'll be watching 246.5 followed by 242. So make sure you watch these levels very, very closely. But I just wanted to call out that so far, Tesla's outperforming the market, holding up quite decently as we approach earnings. We had some very important announcements coming out by Elon Musk. The overall market is performing a very, very important test right now. I'll also talk about that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about some news and also Elon Musk. So, what is Elon Musk up to? What is he saying this time? And I want to break down something very, very important. So, the Tesla Optimus production is now estimated to start in 2025, according to Musk. And this is actually very, very important because you guys have to remember that, in my opinion, that Tesla is kind of implying that by next year they're going to be seeing a lot of developments for the humanoid robots, and high production should be coming out as soon as 2026, according to Musk. So next year they should be showing us a lot of progress. We could even be looking for some production, and high production for scaling could be happening in about 2026, which is actually not that far away. You know how fast time could really fly. But this is actually a very, very important tweet that came out from Elon Musk in response to some research from OpenAI. So I want to talk about that very, very closely. So this is the official tweet by Elon Musk right over here. There's actually a diagram of some very important predictions about AI's future. Let me show you this first, and then I'll talk about the tweets and such. So this came out. And this is what Elon Musk was responding to. So basically, there's some predictions being made by an OpenAI researcher. His name is Daniel, and he said that basically the GPT next release autonomous agent is going to be released in the end of 2024. Then we're going to be seeing autonomous agents that are going to be AI personal assistants in 2025, which are going to be able to perform many tasks and handle purchases. And then by 2026, we're going to have super intelligent AGI that's going to surpass the human level performance in most tasks, potentially for rapid advancements. And then we're going to be looking for a transition to ASI, which is going to have rapid advancements in AI capabilities. There's a 70% chance of this by 2030, not to mention nanobots and other things like that, at least as time goes on. So very, very insane, pieces of technology. This is things that we've seen out of sci-fi movies that's becoming a reality as I speak, and something that's now inevitable at this point in my personal opinion. So I just wanted to call this out. This is what many former researchers are talking about. And in response to all of this, and in response to these claims, Elon Musk actually mentioned something else that's very important, that Tesla will have genuinely useful humanoid robots in low production for Tesla's internal use by next year. So that's actually very important. By next year, he's saying that there should be robots working in the gigafactories, and then for high production for other companies in 2026. So that's huge news that Musk is saying right now. He's giving us new dates and new estimates for the humanoid robots. And you have to remember that this is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar business for Tesla. These robots are going to likely surpass the value of the cars, according to Elon Musk, and it's going to be worth, once again, at trillions and trillions of dollars for the market, which is going to be very big for Tesla. Tesla just needs a small part of that market for it to really, really grow. I can't wait to see what else is announced from there. I also saw this tweet right over here about the Cybertruck Dubai police Cybertrucks that are coming out, which is pretty cool. Very, very cool stuff. Musk was responding to this as well. That's all I've really seen, at least from Elon Musk himself thus far. Now, there's been a lot of talk about gigacasting, which other companies may be reimagining and using in their own factories. Pretty cool stuff, in my personal opinion. Tesla is yet to once again enhance these methods, but they are trying to improve basically this form of die casting, which can make things a lot more efficient for them to basically reduce parts and to try to contain them and more effectively. Something that Tesla's working on. I can't wait to see if there's more announcements about this. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities with this moving forward for other production mechanisms and other companies to follow in their footsteps. On top of this, there are analysts coming out there who are saying that during earnings, when earnings come out tomorrow, be on the lookout for some FST updates. That's going to be very important for Tesla and what kind of reaction we get. So be open minded and watch that very, very carefully. Anyways, going back to Tesla, I just wanted to mention that we have this 250 resistance. If Tesla could manage to break this, we could technically go all the way up to at least 252, if not 255. And we have support currently at 246.5. If that fails us, we have our 50 EMA at 244, which is a minor support, not to mention 242. If we lose 242, then once again, this gap will fill all the way down to much lower levels. But I'm not really favoring that. I think that Tesla's forming a nice cup right over here. Might dip a little bit, then rebound later on. And I think it might shuffle as time goes on. The move to the upside came after what I called out, and we were correct with the market pushing a bit. That is what happened so far. But now that Tesla hit some tough resistance, we're going to likely continue to just remain range bound. And we'll see what kind of reaction we get at least moving forward. That's what I'm seeing so far, at least on the charts. So you want to be very, very patient with this nonetheless. And we'll see how things end up developing from here. As far as SPY goes, SPY is all over the place. We got a nice little pump up to about 554, only to reject back down. Now we're getting bought back up to 552. So we're just trading sideways in this range right over here. Our support is currently at this 551.8 area, our 50 EMA. We have resistance once again around 554. We've been going back and forth and back and forth. If we end up dipping lower, watch 550.5 as key support. If that fails us, then yes, we turn bearish and we're going to likely fill this gap. If we break past 554, we turn bullish. So watch 554 as resistance and 550.5 as a key support and see which way we break. We're kind of shuffling right now. So I'm going to be very, very patient with this and see if this continues to ping pong or not. I'm going to be very, very mindful of that. With the news about Joe Biden, the market got a more positive reaction, but it wasn't really enough to cause the market to just continue to break out. Obviously, the market was selling off quite a bit for the last week, so it's no surprise that we're kind of shuffling now. So give it some time. We're going to watch to see which side wins. Does SPY break 554 and continue to rally, or do we eventually lose 550.5? We'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, we're just stuck within this range. That's going to be our big test very soon. For Nvidia, lo and behold, we called out a push for 122. Nvidia is trying to test that right now. We have a nice looking structure. This kind of resembles an inverse head and shoulders. So I could see Nvidia break out higher. If we could try to break 123, I'll be looking for 125 and this gap fill up to 127. So I see potential in Nvidia to bounce higher, but I want to see if we can break past 123. If we fail to do so, make sure you watch basically 120 as support, not to mention 118. But this has more upside potential, and it could be looking for a bigger push if we continue to see that. For Bitcoin, Bitcoin pumped all the way up to about 68,000 only to reject. So it's now just trading sideways in this range. If we fail to hold 67,000, look for 66,389 as our next support. That's our 200 EMA right over here. If that fails, we turn bearish. But I think as of right now, we're just range bound on Bitcoin. For the QQQ, got a nice pump all the way up to about 482. Awesome to see. I'm sorry, 483. Excuse me, guys. 483. But notice that we haven't been able to crack through that. That's the exact level we called out right here. Had we broken that, I'd be looking for 485. And if we end up losing support at 480, look for 478.92. If that fails us, I'll be looking at 478 flats. And then we have this big gap to fill all the way down here towards 475. So, in my personal opinion, I would say that right now the QQQ is looking like it's trying to uptrend right over here, but it's still range bound between 480 and 483. And we'll have to see which way we end up breaking for now. If we break 483, we turn more bullish. If we lose 480, we could turn a bit more bearish. But I would say specifically 478.92. Losing that would turn us even more bearish. So I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case or not. Otherwise, we're just range bound, just like that of SPY. So just wait and see. Can we break out higher, or are we about to get a rug pull? We'll wait and see which way we break. So be very patient. For now, make sure you watch your levels and see which way we end up breaking. For the IWM, we pushed all the way up to about 218.5, only failing to break it. So we have 216 as support. We'll have to watch and see how well this holds up. If we lose support at 215.5, we have a gap to fill all the way down here towards 213. If we break past 222, we'll be looking for a rebound, so just be careful. There's a little bit of a downtrend right over here, so this could actually drop lower to fill this gap. So watch and see if that ends up being the case or not. We have to be very patient, but I do see a lot of shuffling and some risks of downside for the IWM. Notice that Coinbase did push up to about 265, but I warned everyone to be careful if we get a rejection or not. I said if we reject it, watch 254 as key support. That's where we ended up dipping to. So I'll be watching this 252 to 254 area as support. If coin loses that, we could be dipping all the way down towards 245. Don't forget 262 to 265 is where we have resistance. Coin is kind of rejecting here, so we'll see if we hold 252 or not. We got to hold that to rebound. If we don't hold that, look for a rejection, so watch that carefully. Amazon has a nice inverse candlestick structure. This could be a trap. If we end up losing 182, there's a risk of us dipping lower. And if we bounce here, we could be looking for a nice rebound all the way up towards about 188. With the inverse head and shoulders, there's potential in Amazon to bounce, but we'll have to wait and see. So be very patient with this one. For Meta, Meta has a nice cup and handle like structure we called upside. And so far, it's looking pretty good. Make sure you watch support at 486. If we lose that, there's going to be a rug pull all the way down towards 480. And if we continue to hold above 490, I could be looking for an attempt to get closer to about this level right here. 495 is a possibility, but we got to hold, try to get back above 490. So I do see it shuffling for a bit, might dip a little bit, but let's see if we can try to crack that 490 resistance. Microsoft, in my personal opinion, has a nice inverse head and shoulders as well. We'll be looking for 445 if that breaks. I think there's going to be a nice move all the way up to this gap fill towards 448.5. And if we lose 439, we'll be dipping all the way down to this other gap towards 437. So we're kind of stuck in the middle. I do see some more upside potential with a nice inverse head and shoulders, so it could push higher. We'll have to see if we can try to break this imbalance or not. So I see potential in Microsoft. I like this structure. I think we could be looking for about a test of 445, and if that breaks, we'll go higher. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then Google's trying to rebound. We called 184 in my earlier video. That's where we went to. This is a tough resistance at our 200 EMA. If we do break this, I could be looking for 185. If we fail to break that, make sure you watch 181. I think right now we're showing some strength, but just know the 200 EMA is kind of tough. So it might take some time. So we'll see if it shuffles or breaks that or not. Otherwise, we're just kind of stuck. So that's what I'm seeing for the markets right now. I think we're just range bound. I am seeing an attempt by SPY to try to break higher, but like I said before, guys, I wouldn't be too confident just yet. Just know that we're kind of range bound between 554 and 550.5, and whichever way we break will determine the much bigger move. So I'm not confident in either direction just yet. The market's been going back and forth, so just wait and see. Be very, very patient to give the market the time it needs. With that being said, as far as Tesla goes, like I said earlier, it's pumped quite a bit up, try to break this 250 resistance. Now it's coming back down to 246.5. Still shuffling, but overall it's holding up well. I wouldn't worry too much about the move quite yet. Don't forget that earnings will cause a much bigger reaction, so we'll see how things go. Elon Musk gave us some important updates, so I just wanted to kind of end the video from here. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a good one, and peace out.